Hey everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. Thanks to your comments, I've been able to learn a couple of important things. Number one, there are some elevation changes on the ground that apparently impact where belts can go and how long the sorters need to be. So thanks for pointing that out. I've also learned that you can indeed go directly from building to building, as long as you have your, as long as you have the distance set properly. In this case, it's like one tile separating these two things. So I've got this one now making the electromagnetic matrices, and this one doing the research. I set up a machine here to make the circuits. We've got the one down here making the magnets. And so yeah, so we're automating our research now. It does look like we're running out of power on occasion, so I want to see if we've got any power upgrades available. What's this? Okay, that's the one we're doing right now. Electromagnetic drive. And that'll give us electric motors. And we can later on get magnetic levitation technology. Okay, yeah. You know, lots of stuff that I don't know how to use yet. Let's see. I want to find... see if there's some kind of a coal generator or something. So I can get out of using... what does this give me? Ah, okay. This is what I want. Thermal power. That will give me a thermal power station, which will use coal. Okay. Perfect. So we'll do that, and then while that's taking place, I really need to reorganize this entire base. If you want to call it a base. I wouldn't even call it a base yet. I think that's being a little generous. Alright, so I'm going to grab some of that stuff. Yeah, once this research gets done, then we'll start to reconfigure all this into, you know, a proper bus type of a layout. I think what I can do right now is, let's pick up this coal miner. Because I have coal over here. I think I'll put the thermal power over here, since there's nothing else in the way. Although these are close to water, I wonder if this thing needs water. Maybe this is a good place to put it. In fact, yeah, let's put it over here, because this is where the grid is, and then that way I won't have to go too far to get it hooked up. And we need to get some stone mining going. So let me make a couple more of these miners. Let's make 2 more of those. What else should I have? I'm not sure what else. We'll start making more stuff. Okay, now I can use a thermal power station. That is absolutely wonderful. How much power do these make? These make 2.16 megawatts versus, well, I can't see what one wind turbine makes, versus 300 kilowatts. Okay. So I don't know. Let's make 2 of these to start with. Oh, okay, I can only make 1. I need more iron. That's no problemo. Let's make 1 more. And I need stone. Okay. Where is my closest stone? Actually, I want to zoom out a bit. Let's go to the planet. The planet view. That way we get a wider look. Okay, yeah, so it looks like I got stone here and I have stone up there. So I think I'll tap into the one down there. Alright, let's clear some trees. Okay. You know, and the last time I was kind of questioning why I would want to not snap to the grid, which we can do by shift, and it was explained in the comments that you can sometimes capture more of these little resource nodes by shifting things around a little more finely. Oh, okay. And you can change your rotation too. Alright, so that's good. Let's see. Let's see how many I can get. That's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to do. Yeah, I think this is the way. There we go. And then I need a Tesla tower or two. Well, let's get the power. Let's get the power going first, and then I'll go hook that up. Okay, so I need to put a miner on coal. All right. Covering 6 veins. And if you shift left click, you can copy a building. I'll put this like right here. And see if this tells me... Okay, so I'm getting 180 a minute out of this guy. Now let's see what our generators use. I'll just put down 1 to begin with.
A thermal power station. Such power facilities need to consume chemical energy fuels. If you want it to generate continuous and stable power, you need to ensure a sufficient fuel supply at all times.
Okay, thanks for the tip. And this doesn't say... Well, it can make 2.4 megawatts. And it said somewhere that it has 80% efficiency. So if it's 2.4 megawatts, let me get my calculator out. 2.4 divided by 0.8, that's 3. So I need to feed it 3 megajoules per second. And I get 2.7 megajoules from 1 piece of coal. So a little over 1 per second ought to keep this thing running, and I think that that's not going to be any problem whatsoever. So let's run this down like that. Okay, I need to make some of these. Nice. Yeah, conversion rate 80%. Alright, let's place the other one. Yeah, let's move this Tesla coil. And I need to make more belts. Okay, I'm still getting used to the keys using F1 Using the F keys to select stuff is kind of foreign to me. Okay, so this one's connected to the grid, but this one is not, so we need to get a Tesla tower built in here somewhere. Alright, so let's put one there. And let's see. Let's put one there. Okay. Alright, so the buildings themselves, kind of like the wind turbines, those will connect with one another to provide power. Okay, so we've got a ton of capacity now. Maybe I should make a couple more of these generators while I'm at it. Okay, I need stone. Let's get this guy powered up. Alright, so the speed of the mining seems to be directly related to how many veins you have, and each vein seems to give you 30 per second. Okay, so I'll make 2 more of these generators, I'll pop them on the other side, and then I'm assuming we won't have to worry about power for quite a bit. And then I can take down these wind turbines and move them somewhere else. Okay. Logistics. Should I pull from the same spot on the belt? Why not? Collide with another object. Oh, okay. I guess I can't choose the same spot on the belt. So we'll choose that spot instead. Okay, now we've got 11 megawatts of power, and if we're using like just a little over 1 per second, then this mining machine is not going to have any problem keeping up whatsoever. Let me put some more coal in my... I wish there was a way that I could just... grab the contents of a building by control clicking it or something. Like in Factorio, that's kind of what I want to do, but I understand not every game can be exactly the same. That's fine. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. Let's choose our next bit of research, or maybe we do an upgrade. Universe exploration allows us to see vein reserves in the whole planetary system. That could be nice. Mecha Core 2, that needs those red things, which I'm not making yet. I'm not making those yet. Inventory capacity, that needs steel. Okay, not making that yet. I'm just looking for stuff that I can do with what I've got. Drone engine. Okay, let's do drone engine. How about drive engine? Unlocks mecha flight. Let's enqueue it. Solar, yeah. Okay, vertical construction. I would like to do. Alright, well let's do those for now, and then let's see if there's tech that we can unlock. Fluid storage encapsulation. Facility used to extract liquid resources. Okay. Let's add that. High efficiency plasma control. Plasma exciter. Okay. Can be used to extract and refine crude oil. Okay. And a wireless power tower. Can charge the mecha without fuel, it seems. So that sounds that all sounds like good stuff to have. Okay. Now, I guess the first task, like with any game like this, is to speed up production, right? I need more faster science packs. And I'm not sure why this goes red. Is that because it's waiting? Yeah, that's because it's waiting. So really I need like another building. But I don't want to put one over here and try to feed it and stuff. So I think we need to come out with a logical base design. And I think I'm going to do it kind of like I would do in Factorio, where I make a bus. You know, I make a smelting facility, run those items down a bus. I think there was a splitter of some kind that I could research. Improve logistics. Yeah, that would give me a splitter. Let's queue that one up. And then steel. It seems like we're going to need soon. Silicon ore. Alright. Well, I got a big queue. So, now that that's going, let's see if we can improve upon our base design here. Alright. So, how do I want to lay it out? I could do smelting like this way and then go north with the ingots. Although my copper's over there. Let me go back to the map view. Or to the planet view, I should say. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of room to build down here. You know, once we get around that lake. Wow, look at that. I gotta admit, the graphics are pretty nice. Look at that kind of foggy effect where you can see the atmosphere and everything. The sunset. Sunrise, I should say. That's gorgeous. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of room to build down there, so I think that's generally where we should be setting up our factory. Alright, so I'm going to set up another iron machine. And this one is covering 8 veins, so that'll give me tons. And then I'll have this come out this way. And we'll put some smelters just below it. Okay, we need more of those. I need more ingots. Okay, and let's make lots more belts. Okay, I'm gonna pick this up. Okay. Lack of item. Didn't I just... Oh, okay. I didn't make any more of those. Alright, let's make 10 smelters. There we go. 240 a minute. The smelter uses 60 a minute, so that ought to mean that I can put up to 4 of these buildings as soon as I have them made. There we go. There's 1, 2.
You built a smelter, which
3.
can smelt basic materials, such as iron ingots and copper ingots automatically.
Didn't
While
I
you want
already
to make
build
the
a
raw
smelter?
materials and products get in and out of it autonomously, you need to use sorters and conveyor belts.
Gotcha. Okay, I think that'll cover all these buildings. There we go. Alright, so the question is, how much magnet and how much iron do I want? Let's see. Let's look at our production facility. So this will use 20 coils per minute. This will make 45 a minute. Okay, so we can feed at least 2 of these with one of these constructors. And it uses, what's the recipe? 2. So if it makes 45 a minute, that means 90 a minute magnets would keep that running full time. And this makes, doesn't say, okay, 1.5 seconds. So 1.5 seconds means, what, 40 a minute? All right. I wonder if I can copy the recipe. Okay, doesn't look like it. All right, so let's just we'll do 2 magnets and 2 ingots. Let's clear these trees. Should see if I need fuel. Yeah, I do. Okay. And we need these thingamajobs. How much can one of these belts carry? Okay, construction drones. Speed 6 per second. 6 per second. That's not very fast. Or is it? No, 6 per second should be fine. Yeah, the belt's fine. We're taking 1 per second. I think it's this thing that I maybe have a problem with. 1.5 trips per second per grid. This doesn't seem to be... Oh, you know what? I think it only grabs it when it finishes a cycle. It doesn't... Or I could be wrong, but it seems like it doesn't seem like it preloads material. Alright, so this one's running non-stop because it's got a little bit in the queue. And that has a longer cycle time. That could be the reason for that. Whereas these keep freezing up a little bit. I wonder if we put another one of these. Now we're talking. Okay. Alright, that looks good. And then we'll get rid of the extra belt. Nice. Okay, I feel good about that. Oh, I need coal and I need coils. because this research I have to do manually. Let's grab some coal. Yeah, so this, as far as I know, this kind of research can only be done manually, right? Okay, so now I got at least the 50 that I needed of that. It's 98. I'm glad this goes so fast. Almost there. There. Okay, and this is... What's the research we're doing here? The drive engine unlocks Mecha flight. Okay. Yeah, so that'll let me fly once we get that done. You know what I could do? Let's put a... Should I put storage at the end here? Let's see if that'll feed in directly, or if that needs a... Okay, that's too close. Yeah, from what I can tell... I don't actually need that one. From what I can tell, the only... Okay, I need one more belt. Sorry, I'll finish my thought someday. From what I can tell, the only machine that directly outputs onto a belt are these mining machines. Based on what I've seen so far. Okay, so this way we can store up some extra. And here we can reduce the number of stacks. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I'll just have this store up 5 stacks. And that way I'll always have fuel available for my guy. Let's see. What happens if I just double click it? Nothing. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's any one-step process to grab stuff from inventory. Alright, but this way we'll store up some extra coal for my own personal needs. Okay, and this one's almost finished. Let's see how we do. Try out flying. I imagine it's going to eat up my battery charge pretty quick. Okay, and we have 150% move speed in flying mode.
You have received the ability to fly. Double-click the space key to lift off, and then use the arrow keys to control mecha movement. The moving speed will increase by 150%, with more energy consumed under flight mode. Pressing the Alt key can return the mecha to the ground during the flight.
Pretty sweet. Alright. And now we're back to the regular science. Okay, so let's continue doing what we were doing, and let's do something similar here with our copper. Alright, we're going to have to clear more trees. Let's just get all these out of there. And that one too. Okay. So let's get another miner. Let's see how many of these things we can get all at once. That looks like quite a lot. No, try again. Actually, you know what? Maybe, maybe just a simple 90 degrees is gonna work out well. I think that looks good. Okay, another Tesla tower. Oh, okay. And I think you need to get your power. There's a little circle right there. So I think you need to have the power grid touching that circle for it to work. Okay, now we got fluid encapsulation, which allows us to transport fluids with conveyor belts. And we can store excess fluid. Okay. Good stuff. Let's get rid of more trees. Hope I don't need these trees for anything later. Okay. And then we'll throw down a conveyor. Like so. Observe my faster bots. That's definitely helping. Okay, very nice. And then I want more smelters. Do I need a tile in between, or is this good enough? Still not quite clear on distances. Okay, so we can put it right next to it. Let's see what we're making here. I got 5 veins, so this will give me 150. Well, I'm gonna put 4 anyway, just like I did before. And I need circuit boards. And I'll grab more iron ingots while I'm at it. Do I have ore? Just stone ore. Okay, yeah, I don't have any iron ore on me. Alright, so that's going to be copper. Collide with other object. Oh, you know what? Can I stack these? Or is that... I think that's the research I haven't done yet. Lack of item. Okay. I guess I didn't make 4 previously. Now, what is that? There was something that was going to give me stackable stuff. Alright, so this is giving me splitters. I did this thing, so now I can make this wireless power tower. Let's see what that does. Can consume electricity from the power grid. But that also requires these... Oh, these things. Plasma exciters. How do we make plasma exciters? From prisms. Okay, well I got a few to start with, so let's see. I want to see how this thing works. And I'll put this next to my storage bin. If this is like where I can recharge.
You built a wireless power tower, which is suitable with long-distance power transmission caused by its longer connection distance. What's exciting is that it can also charge Mecha by using electricity from the grid.
Okay, so let's see. Oh yeah, that gets me charged up much faster. Okay, so that's very cool. Definitely like that. Okay, more smelters, please. Alright, and more belts. And more sorters. Always running out of these guys. Alright, let's make a couple stacks. There we go. Alright, we're in business now. And I still have plenty of power. Alright, I'm going to turn off the power grid view. I don't necessarily need to see that all the time. Okay. So we've got copper smelting there. We've got iron and magnet production down here. You know what? I wonder if we should double up. Yeah, these are 60 a minute. Also, although these don't seem to be having the problem that iron did. They were able to get preloaded with a few bits of ore. Maybe that's, well, I don't know. I don't know why that didn't happen down here. Do these things use power? Yeah, they do. So let me see if I can remove these extra ones here. And then hopefully we'll be okay. Alright, so what do we need to make? Well, or what do we need to do with this stuff? We want to bus it. Okay, so let's make more belts. Actually, I'm gonna build more of these. Alright. So I'll have a belt of iron ore, or iron ingots. We'll have a belt of copper ingots. Whoops. Okay, and now I have Mark II sorters, which make 3 trips a minute, or 3 trips a second, versus 1.5. Ah, okay. So look at the difference here. This sorter can do 1.5 trips per second. This one only does 0.75 because it's got to go twice the distance. So the distance is very important. So let's redo this. Whoopsie. That's not what I wanted to do. Actually, let's redo all of this. Because all that is too far. Okay. So I'm going to delete all of this. There we go. And then change these back to magnets. A lot to learn. A lot to learn with this game. Okay. And we can do Mark II sorters, but I really don't need the Mark II sorters. That's why this was too slow. Because I had an extra tile of distance on the sorters compared to my copper machines. So that's something we're going to have to be aware of. Alright, so let's do that. And then we'll come up here. Okay, and then we'll come out here. And then this one will come out there. Alright, and this way all the sorters are nice and close. Okay, and then I'll start to build down this way. Whoops. Okay, and then this is where the copper will go. Where's my copper? Way over there. Okay. Let's see. Yes, I'm on the second line here. And the direction is important. So let's see if we come down here. Actually, the grid is pretty useful. Oh, alright. And it looks like it'll automatically go around obstacles. There we go. Huh? Oh, okay. The sorter needs power as well. I did not know that. Alright, well, let's just put that one there. Okay, beautiful. So we got a lot of production going on. I'm not sure what the range of these guys is. Let's see. Okay. We're getting organized. Remember how I said there was all that room down here? That room is rapidly disappearing, isn't it? Alright. So, let's try to duplicate our science setup. So let's make one circuit machine, one coil machine, and we'll have those feed into a couple of labs. Okay, coils. This might be too close. And this one will do circuits. Alright. Let's make some splitters. We'll make 10 of those. And let's queue up more belts and more of these sorters as well. We'll need another Tesla tower over here. Okay, we have steel smelting now. Wonderful. I'll just put it out as far as I can. Oh, you know what? You might need to power those splitters. Okay, I'll put it right here. Alright, now let's see how the splitters work. So this needs copper ingots and magnets. Alright, so if I had, let's say I had a, oh, okay. Can't just snap it onto belts, apparently. What is it colliding with here, fella? Okay, now it's not colliding. Alright, so we need like the space of 3 belts.
With 4 directions. It can split the passing cargo or balance the cargo on multiple conveyor belts. The splitting speed depends on the conveyor belt speed. Use the tab key to switch between different styles, and click it to set priorities and filters.
Different styles. Oh. Ah, very cool. Okay, okay, this is good. This is good. This is actually the one that I want. Okay, and I want to move it. I want to move it closer. Collides with the other object. Okay, so this thing apparently needs more than one belt or one tile of space, I guess. That's unfortunate. That could make my bus a little more difficult to build. Yeah. Here, let's get rid of this. And I think maybe I'll just have to run this and leave a space in between each belt. Okay. Now, do the belts go directly in? Yes. Thank goodness. Okay, and then this one is going to be elevated, right? Yeah. Okay, very cool. All right, that's pretty neat. All right, so let's, as a matter of fact, let's put another splitter right here. Okay. All right, so they have to be this far apart. All right, so in this case, I want another one essentially like what I've got there. Yeah. Except I'm going to move it up. No, this is fine. Okay. So let's feed that in. And then we'll run it down this way. Okay, how do I raise the belt? Okay, the arrow key. So this one is going to be elevated. So we can get it across here. Go away, you. Okay. And then we'll build from there, and then I'm going to go back down to ground level. And then there. One more. There we go. Sweet. Now this needs two per second, right? It's catching up now, but actually I think we should use let's use a Mark II splitter if I can. That's F5. Let's make a few Mark II splitters. Let's see how we're doing on charge here. Okay. Alright, and there's a slight visual difference, just a different color. Okay, nice. This makes me happy. Okay, so we need 2 spaces in between each conveyor belt. So that can go there. And then down there. And that way we'll be able to put splitters where we want them. Okay. So next one is the circuit maker. So let's put another one of these. And actually this one I'll just place right there. Slope to... Oh. Can I turn it after I placed it? No. Okay. There we go. And we'll see if I'm able to... get the belt down quick enough. Endpoint must be horizontal. Okay. I wonder if I can pull from an elevated belt. Let's try it. No. Doesn't seem to like that. Okay, so this will have to go... This will have to bring it to the side. So let's bring the belt... Well, let me place my splitter first. Okay, we want that to come right next to the machine, which I think would place it there. Oh, no, that's elevated. My bad. Put it back down. There we go. Well, I'm not judging my distances very well. I guess that comes with practice. Alright, and then that comes down there. Okay, good. And this is 2 iron and 1 copper. Alright, now the iron, I think I can manage this. Let's try and see if I can get the belt to come down here in front of it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this elevated. Alright, looks like that's in the way. Okay, so it can't be there. Let's see if I can get it done there. Okay, so we'll keep it elevated until right there, let's say. And then from there, I'm going to come down to ground level. No, I'm too far away by 1. there we go. Okay, and then we'll use the Mark II sorter there. Alright, how'd we do? We did quite well. Alright. So far, so good. I'm feeling pretty good about this. We got automated power. We got a prototypical bus station going on here, or bus system, not bus station. we're not going to grandma's house or anything. Yeah, so this looks pretty good. And now we have the components we need for lab stuff. So let's go pick up our lab machines over here. That was easy. And I want to make one more of them. Yeah, I want to make one more of these so that we can produce 2 and load into 1. Now, if we had the stackable stuff, that would be even better. Because then I wouldn't have to put this stuff on belts. But as it stands, I think maybe I do need to put them on belts. Here we go, science. How would we do that? Okay. Yeah, let's put down some belts. Okay, and this is making how much? 45 a minute. And that one makes 45 a minute. Okay, so I think the Mark 1 ought to be enough. Now, why does this one have to come out by 2? See, that's what I don't get. And I don't see an elevation change. Why can't this one go right there? What if we had another belt? Weird. Okay. So let's do this. Let's put these 2 side by side. Okay. Yeah, and this is going to... Okay, yeah, these are both set to produce, which is what I want. Okay. So let's grab our magnetic coils, and then using Mark IIs, we'll jump across like that. And I'm hoping that that will be able to pull from the farther belt fast enough. Yeah, 1.5 per trip. Okay, and this makes 20 a minute, one of each, so I need 45 a minute from each of those. And I'm making 45 a minute from each of those, so we should be good. And then I'll put the third machine, leaving one tile of space. And this will be set to do the research. And I should be able to do that. Oh. Okay. Let's see if I can... Alright, no, I don't think there's any way I can arrange it to directly insert from both. Let's try that. It doesn't like that. Alright. Well, let's make one more. And we'll just have them go 1-to-1. Okay. So, you do research. You do research. Okay. Now let's pick some research to do. Environment modification. Ah, okay. Collect soil pile from above 0 altitudes and use them to fill up the ocean. Landfill. Just rectify the surface will consume the foundation. I'm not sure what that means, but okay, yeah, that gives us foundation technology. Surface leveling tool. Cannot use it to change to planetary landforms at will. Can only level the surface to 0 altitude. Okay. If you use the foundation for high ground, you'll get a soil pile. If you use it for ocean or low-lying areas, you consume soil pile. Beautiful. That sounds like something I definitely want. And let's see how we do with our new science setup. Okay. I'm assuming it's faster to have multiple labs. I guess we could test that real quick. Oh, you know what? I'm using my inventory too. Maybe that's why. Alright, but then I can't see progress. Alright, so how do I turn that back on? Is that in the options? Research queue. Building view mode. Ooh, there's a God mode. I should check that out. Alright, well, I'll try to figure out how to turn that back on. In the meantime, can I put that in manually? Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. Well, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll pick this up from here next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.